Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Matt Scott, and this is episode 13 of Kontek Industries podcast channel, Complacency Kills. This is safe and going home. I'm here today with my compadre and target hardening specialist, Mr. Chase Tobin. Chase, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, again, Chase Tobin, Kontek Industries. I cover down pretty much on law enforcement, state and local levels. Also, any of the government entities involved in there, as well as the commercial side of the house. So this is going to be a cool podcast to sit and talk about how our ballistic protections, most specifically the shields, play into what we do each and every day. So pretty excited to have this conversation, man. Yeah. Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, you know what?
I don't know how we got
it goes hand in hand,
but it works.
You know, only the important people wear these things.
I just wish we had the same color pants and we would be like all about it. So it's all
yeah,
good.
I'm cooler. It's all right.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about ballistics.
We're talking about ballistic shields today.
Okay.
And we're talking about ballistic shields, but I want to hit up on like why it's important to integrate ballistic shields into anyone or everyday security plans.
Okay, so I guess a good way to start that, we have different verticals at Kontek. You cover down on the nuclear security aspect. Right. We have Department of Energy, Department of Defense, federal, again, state and local. So I guess maybe we should just kind of do a top-down run and see how kind of our ballistic shield products kind of are integrated into each one of those verticals, and that would probably be good, yeah? Yeah,
definitely. I think, starting off with DOE or critical infrastructure, all in general, as even in nuke sites, I know that ballistics are, the true grade of, why security even stands how they are. And, integrating ballistics, especially shields, into a security plan for a nuke site is just detrimental. And anybody can ask, well, why? Why? So you have one specific guard and or two to a specific location. What if they're taking pop shots from various points and around the nukes, whether underground coming at you, we want the officers to go ahead and shoot back. We want them to survive and protect the facility. And how do you do that? Oh, ballistic shields.
That makes sense. I mean, and their mission set's a little different from the other verticals, right?
Oh,
they're more of a defensive posture. And their threat levels are different too. That's what you have to consider when you're dealing with your ballistics. Critical infrastructure is wildly different than, say, a police station, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But there's still threats you have to assess, and if you're not doing that at your facility, you need to really take a step back and have somebody like yourself or myself come out there and help you walk you through your security plan. Yeah. So I guess what would, if I'm an officer at a nuclear site, because I haven't been on them as much as you have, what are the different, Kontek shields that we would have on said site? I know they all kind of apply to different verticals, but what would you say is maybe most integral to that site?
So talk with these guys, and you're talking about not just your basic security, guard that's like standing post at let's a mall or a hospital. No, these are top tier guys. Mm-hmm. You're talking about either retired or ex-police officers or special operations guys coming from the military, or just all in all just contractors. Right, and so they have a very diverse background. They're coming through. They know how to operate. Then they go ahead and employ all these shields and whatnot. So we're going to be really going with our mobile response shields.
Makes sense.
With these. Although we got it right here. These are our shields that we typically use, and I know you kind of cater to this.
For sure.
More so than I would, but the mobile response shields is because we have a set designated point for these guys to go ahead and interact with the opposing force. You get point A to point B. Well, in that danger area or that dead space, they need to go ahead and protect themselves. So rolling from point A to point B, they need a rolling shield. So ballistic shield, whether it be from NIJ3 to NIJ4, that's what they need, because it's important from not just them to protect themselves as well as the people there at their facility, but to go home to their kids.
That makes sense. And then, whether it's the MRS or even the beefed up version, the F-117, if you guys haven't checked out our YouTube channel and checked out the videos on these different products, you really need to get into it and get a more detailed description of what's going on.
Talk about wow factor.
Talk about it. It's like you turn yourself into a tank, basically, or a train. It's got the cow catcher on the front of it, right?
Hello. Everyone, as a little kid, I always wanted to be a transformer.
Right.
Right?
And you're ready to go, right?
Right there.
So what about anything else? I know we've got, we talked a little bit about the Blue Ridge shields, how you can incorporate if you had to go on a,
Well, I want to get into that a little more. I want to know more about that, especially integrating that into, how police officers and or law enforcement use it every day because, you know, I'm solely specific into one genre of what we do, and I know that you have so much more experience into getting in the nitty gritty with these shields versus our mobile response shields. And I know that wheels are great, but carrying them is even better.
Exactly. That's another consideration you have to figure out. If you're at a static position, no matter where you're at, if you're in a hospital, school, nuke site,
Right.
Transportation of said shield is going to be something you have to consider. So do I need to have this thing pre-staged somewhere that's convenient, that I can get behind it and roll to contact quickly? Or is it something that I'm comfortable, me and a team, putting it in like a Bearcat, let's say, because they have Bearcats on some of these sites, right? Can I put it in a Bearcat or a pickup truck or something and get it to at least a covered and concealed position, offload it and get ready to go? Right. That's another consideration for the mobile response shield. F-117 is a little bigger, so you probably pretty much have to have that one pre-staged somewhere ready to go. Or you could utilize our mobile fighting position. Right. Just a little hand, single man shield that you can roll into a position and dictate where your cover is, at least until backup shows up with the team shields or with the MRS or something like that too. I think that's pretty much applicable all across the board. I guess military applications for these guys, it's not something we've done a lot of, but I think even still, as a conventional infantry unit, probably not going to be using too much of really any of the shields because you have to carry this stuff everywhere. But at like a fixed position, like an entry control point or a gate or something to that effect, there's nothing that says you can't have a shield ready to go if you're going to go do vehicle interdiction, or if you're going to do airborne vehicle interdiction, or if you're going to go do any kind of search at a high valued area or something.
Okay. I want to hit on something right there. Seeing or coming across commercials, seeing in magazines, catalogs, and whatnot, seeing all what they have to offer, whether or not it's the shields that we typically deal with and whatnot. But I'm looking at these shields, these massive shields that police, military typically utilize, and they can't carry them. They're just massive. I mean, it's like you're going against King Kong or Godzilla. Right. So what's the benefit of carrying? Well, with this particular shield, the Blue Ridge Armor series that we have with the Vengeance Viewport, and this is the actual WMX series, the benefit of it is it's a lightweight shield. It's a level 3A shield. We do have them in level 3, which will stop rifle rounds. We have an M855 version. That's a little heavier than some of the conventional shields out there, but it's going to stop rifles. A lot of rifle shields are so heavy, one guy can't even carry it. Like I'm not a real big guy, but I can carry most of these shields, but they get tiring after a while. But what do you do when you respond to an incident? You always give it to the littlest guy because you want to you make fun of him, right? Right. But the beauty of the Blue Ridge shields is that they're lightweight. They're made of a composite system. They're cut here in North Carolina. There's all kinds of configurations you can use with them. The benefit, again, is just that lightweight and versatility. And this is one of the bigger models, obviously, we've got here on the video. But they can come in really kind of any size. We've got them down to hand-carried shields that are like 3 or 4 pounds. That's just for like a patrol officer. That's kind of like the Captain America shield in the movie, we got the Wakanda shield or whatever. We've got them down to even that size. But ones like that, they're 15, 16 pounds, it's not a lot. I mean, we also have a sling for them. That's going to take a lot of the weight off of it. So some of the other shields that are comparable are over 20, 25 pounds. That's a lot for guys to carry. Again, start hitting the gym, I guess, is to be the answer to some of these other guys. But I know the importance of one carrying a shield. I mean, so dealing in my space, you're going to go down very long hallways and go either underground, going above ground and whatnot, transitioning from rooftops all the way down to retrograding down to boiler rooms or whatnot. So carrying shields is great, but when we have very elongated hallway, whether it be 200 to 500 feet, let's say, I know utilizing that mobile response shield has been money. One, because of the collapsible sides. 6 inches on each side, that might not be a lot to somebody, but having that right off of the wall and moving down with, let's say, a team of 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, you're protecting them. You're knowing that you have the capability of protecting, from rifle rounds, and like, hey, Bob from marketing, he's going to go home later on tonight because I'm protecting this side of the hallway. So,
And another thing with the MRS, if you want to take it down even to a, you would probably take an MRS and at a nuke site, you may be looking at NIJ4.
Right.
Ballistic levels. We've got videos and stuff that cover all the ballistic ratings. That's one of the higher levels that we've got. Down at my level with state and local, even like schools and hospitals, they're looking at probably like NIJ3. Not as many armor-piercing rounds. Mostly want to stop a lot of pistol rounds. That MRS is crucial because you can take, say like in Florida, they've got the Guardian program. Are you familiar with the Guardian program?
No, I'm not.
So in Florida, they've got a system where they train teachers, and there's teachers in schools all over Florida that carry firearms in the event of active shooter. After Parkland, a lot of this was developed. They're trained, they know how to operate, they know the use of force, they know the laws and everything like that. They can assist in law enforcement in responding to said threat. I think that should be a national program in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. But say you have an MRS in a school and you have it pre-staged somewhere, gender closet, somewhere just in the front lobby or somewhere that's got like a poster or something, go, Wildcats or whatever they've got on the front of the MRS. When X event happens, you get that motivated teacher and the SRO driving that thing down the hallway to contact. Even if they're not going to contact, maybe they're blocking off a hallway so they can evacuate people behind them before moving to contact.
That's right.
It's brilliant, but that's just the level of training you've got to have within your facility. Whether you're at a nuke site, you're at a DoD facility, DOE facility, or at your state and local level, having a plan for whatever event's going to happen. Obviously, we're in the business of stopping bullets, so that's what we think about a lot. But if you have a plan for X event, then you can get there and take care of business without massive loss of life and big massive casualty situations.
Out of curiosity, just because we hit on shields and whatnot, why is this important to you?
Why is this important to me?
Yeah.
I got kids.
Yeah.
You got kids.
I do.
I know about everybody I know has got kids now. I'm getting to that point. We want to protect life, get these people going home to their families.
Right.
Every single day, whether it's a patrol officer out on the beat, a nuclear security officer protecting critical infrastructure, any of our DoD servicemen and women that are out there, hooking and jabbing on the forefront. Want to give them as much protection, as many options as possible so that they can go home at the end of the day.
My man.
Easy day.
Right there. Double time, baby.
All right, guys, that was episode 13, Kontek Industries, Complacency Kills. Safe and going home. I'm Chase Tobin. Appreciate your time today. Matt, Scott, you want to take it home?
Thank you, and we'll see you for episode 14. I'll be going to episode 1342. Take care.